It's only a hustle if you hate the work, and it's only a grind if you feel ground. Welcome to another episode of #winning. Uriel King here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. Today, I want to talk about redefining work-life balance, the grind, etc., and just share my perspectives on how I view work. A while ago, I created a video called The Retirement Lie. The Retirement Lie. And now we've all been sold this dream, this lie of retirements, that when we're 55, which is now 65, probably soon to be 75, we'll retire and be able to live the dream life that we work so hard to create. I've never bought that bullshit for 1 second. And I understand that that dream is painted for many people who live their whole life hating what they do, living a mediocre existence, going to work every Monday, hoping that it's Friday afternoon. I get that. That's not the world in which we live. If you're a winner like I am, if you love working, if you love what you do and serving other people just like I do, why would you want to retire from that? So today I want to share a couple thoughts around how I have kind of led my life in business from a work-life integration perspective, not so much a work-life balance perspective. I want to talk about how I look at travel and vacations. And, hopefully this gives you some perspective. And if this is, if you're not too familiar with my story/setup, I have 4 young boys, okay, from 4 years old to 13. And I spend a lot of time with them. I work from home. I finish my day pretty much at 3:30. I work 7 days a week and I don't feel ground. I don't feel ground down. I don't feel like I'm in a pepper mill just being, ground. I work harder and more now than I did when I was in my early 20s, grinding away as a trainer and nutritionist. At the time, I really felt burnt out. And I think there's a really big unlock that happens for a lot of us. And I've seen this happen with other friends of mine who are also fitness experts transitioning into business, and then they get to a certain level of success and they actually want to get back into the fitness stuff, not full time, but just because they love it. And here's the thing, and this is the same with me, is like when there's a very, very big difference between having to do something and choosing to do something. So when I had to wake up at 6 a.m, shovel my car out of snow, make my way across the city, show up in a client's condo at 7 a.m. to make a couple bucks, I didn't enjoy that. I enjoyed helping my clients for sure. But then the rest of the day was just one client after another, nonstop, forever. 7 years later, I'm like, I can't keep doing this. This is not the life I want to live. And if you can relate to that, I get it. I know you care about helping people, right? I care tremendously about helping people. But the first person we need to take care of is us. Because if you're burnt out, if you're sick, if you can't even function, you're useless. You're useful to no one, not your clients, not your team members, not your family, no one. If you're on a plane, they tell you to put on your mask first, okay? Because if you don't, you can't put your mask or a mask on anyone else. So we always have to look out for number one. And I've always believed this. I think, and especially for you moms out there, I want you to be more selfish. I want you to take care of yourself because I've seen moms, being raised by a single mom myself, sacrifice everything for their kids, which is it's amazing and it's very noble and it's obviously what any mom would do. But I think there's a tremendous amount of respect for women especially who say, fuck this, I'm taking care of myself first and foremost. Because if I don't take care of myself, my health, my well-being, I can't be of service to those who care about me most. Just coming back to the topic at hand. So let's talk about this whole kind of grind mentality. You guys know me, I'm big into working smarter, not harder. And if you're going to work hard, it's working on systems and processes in your business that allow you to create more leverage. One of our previous videos, actually the last video, we talked about the lazy genius, right? Effortless productivity tips to use leverage in your business so that you can achieve more by doing less. I'm naturally a lazy person, but I work really hard. But I work hard on things that I will never have to do in the future. So as an example, shooting videos like this is not hard work for me. I can just do this forever. Some other stuff in my business, creating systems that I don't want to run, that other people are going to be involved in. For me, I'm like, okay, just remember, you're going to do this for a short amount of time. You're going to create this asset and this system and never touch it again or very minimally. I'm okay doing that stuff. So if you're going to work hard on things that are going to work hard for you. Does that make sense? because it's very demoralizing. And this is why I don't necessarily like, as an example, Instagram stories compared to YouTube. Instagram stories disappear in 24 hours. So you put in the work and it disappears. YouTube, you create a video and it lasts forever. We have this whole philosophy at Healthpreneur, which is think once. How can we think once instead of repeatedly when we're doing like annual planning, quarterly planning, stuff like that? But also a very similar philosophy applies to creation. How do we create once and allow that one creation to then work for us for as long as humanly possible? That's why I'm a huge fan of systems. That's why I love, even when we look at paid traffic versus organic traffic, like we have a pretty dialed in system on the organic side. We call it the social authority selling system. On the paid traffic side, we have the perfect client pipeline. So on the organic stuff, we kind of know more or less what's being posted on a daily basis, what the theme is, what the rhythm is. We understand where things are moving, how they're moving, and as opposed to just throwing stuff up against the wall. Now, when that system isn't adhered to or gets broken or people are not aware of it, that's when shit hits the fan. That's when deadlines are missed. That's when people don't know what they're doing. That's when a lot of frustration arises. And it's simply because the system wasn't adhered to. So I'm not saying like, you can't be creative outside of a system, but it really, really helps when you are working to create something that is going to work on your behalf for as long as possible. Because if you don't have that, you work forever. This is why I don't help practitioners build their brick and mortar. Why would I want to help you build your prison? It doesn't make sense to me. Why would I help you get a boatload of patients coming into your brick and mortar so that you can be further confined and tied down to your clinic? Yeah, you can make more money, but you'll kill yourself in the process. Why would I want to do that? And that's why we don't help brick and mortar. Like our systems and stuff can work for that, but we don't touch it because philosophically, I don't agree with it. Online, working with people virtually is way better for your clients. It's way better for you. It's going to create way better results for everyone, and you'll actually have a better quality of life. That's what we're here to help you do. So when you have a business that is able to work largely for you, why would you ever want to step away from that? Now, remember, there is a time in the journey where you do have to put a lot of work in. So what? Suck it up, man. You got to eat some shit for a bit. There's no passive income. I can't stand how many fucking people are like, I just want to create some more passive income. I'm burnt out on my clinic, working one-on-one. I want to come online and sell a course and create passive income. You're fucking delusional. It's not going to happen. There is no passive income. You don't create a course, slap it up on a web page, and give people a checkout link. That's never going to happen. And if you do think it's going to happen, just please try it and let me know how it goes. You have to become the world's best copywriter, the world's best marketer, and you have to have the most compelling offer that people are just like, oh my God, I got to buy this. It's never going to happen. And I've been at this for 20 years, okay? And when I say never, I don't mean never. I mean, the likelihood of it happening is like 1%. So don't waste your time doing that stuff. You have to put in the work to build something great. But there is a very big difference between doing work and doing work that's going to work for you in the future. Okay, I want you to understand this. Yes, I work hard, but I work hard because I'm building a business that will outlast my life. Do you understand that? I'm not saying you have to do that. I am willing to work hard now because it's not that I don't want to work in the future. I will never stop working. I am not useful on this planet if I'm not on a mission. Like men especially, and obviously there's a certain energy, a masculine energy, if you will, that is very mission oriented. Humans, I would argue, are happiest when we have purpose. And if you think that retiring from your purpose is going to make you feel happier and free, yeah, I don't think so. Okay? If you love what it is you do, why would you have to take a vacation from it? So I'll give you a little recap of the last several years and trips I've taken. So before the pandemic, we went to Australia for 3 months. We were going to go to Italy for 2 months right after that, but I canceled the trip because my son Luca was being a nightmare. And I'm like, we're not doing Italy, forget it. I canceled it. And then someone was like, it's a good thing you did that. I was like, why? They're like, you didn't hear about what's going on in Italy? I'm like, no, because I don't watch the news. Yeah, this whole COVID thing. So it was actually good timing because that was March 2020. Nonetheless, when we were in Australia for 3 months, guess what I did? I worked just like I do here, but I was just in Australia. And then I got to hang out with my kids, and we walked around, went to the beach, explored the city, kind of like what I do here. Then I didn't travel for 3 years. But even like when I go to Mexico to check on our property and stuff, like 2 months ago, my wife and I went down 4 days. Guess what I did? I did a little bit of work, a little bit of chill. Maybe a little bit more chill than normal, but a couple hours of work. Still hosted some calls, connected with my team, serviced some clients. I still worked, while I was in Mexico. I'm not escaping anything other than the cold Canadian winter. That's it. What I'm trying to get across to you here is when you love what you do, you don't need to escape from it. And if you feel like you have to escape from what you're doing, then maybe you should be doing something else. But also recognizing that there's a difference between thinking you need to escape from something that is hard work, but that's on purpose, versus not living your purpose. If you're on purpose and doing the work you're meant to do, I think the most valuable thing you can contribute to this planet is the fullest version of you, is the gifts that you have. Why would you want to deprive the world of that? If you want to write a book, speak from stage, build out a coaching program, service clients, transform people with your magic, why would you want to stop doing that? So I don't think of like taking 2 weeks off to recharge or a month vacation. Listen, I did 2 months sabbatical in my other business before I sold it. I did a 2-month sabbatical in the summertime. Nothing. I didn't check in with, it was like I was dead, for the lack of a better term. Team couldn't check in with me. I couldn't check in with them. It was like excommunicado. And what I learned in that process was how miserable I was. And I was playing tennis every day. I was hanging out, laying in the grass, looking at the sky, reading, journaling, connecting with friends. And I was not fulfilled. I was happy. I'm not like miserable and depressed, but I wasn't fulfilled. And I don't know about you, but I love working. I love Monday mornings. I don't look forward to, thank goodness it's Friday. For me, every single day is a work day. When you love the work you do, you don't need to take time away from it. And I'm not saying if you want to take a vacation, you shouldn't take a vacation. Yeah, go for it. But there's nothing wrong with you taking a family trip and doing an hour of work in the morning and then hanging out with your family all day. Okay? That's totally fine. Like you can do whatever you want to do. And if you want to take a week completely disconnected from your business, that's totally cool as well. But for me, it's never been about work-life balance. Like when I turn off at 3:30, for instance, most days, I don't turn my brain off. Like my brain never stops. I don't know if you can relate to that. Like you're always thinking about stuff related to business and work. It is what it is. It's how we're wired. Bella, who's our director of operations, we're the same. You know, I was like, what'd you do for New Year's? She's like, nah, not much. Just went to bed at 10 o'clock. I'm like, we love working. Like we're always working. But again, there's just so much joy in that process. Like for her closest friends are many of our team members. So why would you need to escape from that type of environment if that's your home, where you feel best, where you feel most fulfilled? And I wish it upon every single one of you watching this, that you're able to build or find or be a part of a meaningful purpose that fills you up like that. Like there are many challenges. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying this is like easy. There are many, many challenges to building something great, but it's the pursuit of greatness that makes it awesome. Right? I look forward to the challenges. I look forward to what am I going to come up against? Like, where do I have to get better? Why do I keep dealing with this thing? I love and I relish those challenges, not because I'm looking for chaos in my life, but because I value growth. If you value growth, then you value growing through difficult situations, which means pushing the boundaries, which means not settling to just pay the bills, right? Is to do something great. And part of that means you might have some sleepless nights. There might be moments of like high emotion and low emotion and tears and laughter and moments you're like, why am I doing this? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I share this with you because as much as I talk about working smarter and working less and getting more time back in your life, which I'm all for, I want you to remember that there's nothing wrong with that and or working hard if what it is you're working hard on lights you up. There is no like work police that says you must not work more than 6 hours a day. Otherwise, you're working too hard. I can tell you this. I work maybe 60, 70 hours a week and I don't even feel like I'm doing anything. Like I don't even feel like it's work, right? Like I get to shoot videos like this. How does this even work? This is like, what else am I going to do? Right? I'm on this planet. I'm here. I'm doing the work. I work out, play some sports, hang out with my family, see my friends who are all also entrepreneurs. I travel and I get to work while I travel and experience amazing things. What else am I going to do? Like I have everything I want because I've created that lifestyle very intentionally. And it's not something I ever want to retire from. So like when I'm 95 years old or I'm living to 144, that's the goal. When I'm working at 120 years old, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm still going to find a way to do what I love. And I really, really hope that you have that right now or you find it And, if there's anything we can do to support you in that process, then by all means, let us know. But anyways, hopefully this video in some way, shape, or form has either given you permission to continue working towards your dreams because you love what you do, or it's giving you a different perspective. Because sometimes some people say, well, you shouldn't work too hard. Well, how do you define working hard? And is that maybe that's you talking and not right for me, right? So a lot of the stuff I share with you guys, hopefully you understand that it's very contextual. There's no this or that. It's this and all this stuff. And you just have to figure out what makes sense for you, right? My brother doesn't really want to work and build the type of business that I want to build, which is great. He has a different value in his life of what he wants to do, and that's totally cool. I'm not going to impose on him what I think is right for me, nor am I here to say, this is what I do, therefore you should do it. I'm just giving you a perspective that if you can resonate with, to let you know you're not crazy. Sometimes I feel like, am I the only person who loves working? No, there's other crazies out there. I'm one of those crazies. If you're one of those crazies, let me know in the comments below. And if you're not, that's totally fine as well. Cool. So hopefully you've found this video useful. Hopefully it's given you something to think about. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm a naturally pretty lazy person. So I talk about how I love to work, and I don't grind. I just do what I love to do. But when I'm not working, I can be massively lazy. I'm talking about laying on the couch and watching 6 hours of soccer.